What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, fantastic afternoon, fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is awesome. I'm broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. I got a haircut last night. I mean, this is part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news about what's going on in the world of Hassan Piker. Let's get it started, baby. I ended the broadcast Thursday afternoon, your time, my time now, right? Went to bed, woke up, and left London town, flew in to the United States of America. But unfortunately, my flight landed at like around 3:30 and I couldn't get home by 5:30, and at which point it was a little too late for me to actually go live. But yeah, I landed in the land of the free, the home of the brave. Okay, immediately took that obligatory I've landed pick. My stream ambitions for the day are chalked. Still in traffic. As you can see, my hair was much longer yesterday. Was London and LA traffic worse? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I feel like London traffic might have been worse than LA traffic, which is crazy to say. Like, it sounds surreal to even recognize that there might be a place on the planet that's like worse than LA. Yeah. London traffic is so bad because like in LA, there are times where you know not to go in certain directions, right? You can't go alongside the normal commute traffic at certain points in the day. There's like congestion times. In London, it's always congestion time. It could be like 3 a.m. and there's like traffic and it doesn't make sense. Like every street, there's traffic in every goddamn street at like 3. How is that possible? It's insane. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen, because like we would leave Cambridge or Oxford and it would be like, okay, 2-hour drive. And then like 45 minutes would pass and I would look back down at my Google Maps and it would say 2 hours and 15 minutes away. I'm like, how did that happen? There's never been a situation where like the more you go, the worse the traffic gets. It's truly, truly unacceptable how bad the traffic is in Londonistan. I mean, really, really dire. Try taking transit maybe. Yeah, I know. Public transit is better, obviously, but like I was with a whole bunch of people and a bunch of equipment. Like lugging that around was not going to work. I love taking public transit. As you guys know, I've taken public transit in London before. I much prefer it, but it's just like when you're going to a very far away place and you have a bunch of gear on you, it just doesn't work. But in any case, yeah, I got back to Los Angelino and I had a lot of these crazy dreams. Okay, I was gonna go play basketball with Will, and we were gonna dunk on Jason, my nephew, and it was gonna be great and all this stuff. And then we were gonna go clothes shopping. None of that happened. Absolutely none of that happened, and that is because I was both jet lagged and also simultaneously I was too late. Got Kaya back. She's passed out, as you guys can see, because she had a long morning training. So basically, I decided I'm going to order curry and watch Penguin and then passed out. That's what I did. Japanese curry was what I ordered. Tonkotsu, or no, chicken katsu. Penguin, I'm on like episode 4. But yeah, what happened is I ate some curry. I went and I got a haircut. I am going to the Streamer Awards later, obviously. But yeah, I wanted to look at least somewhat decent, somewhat presentable on the Streamer Awards red carpet. And for that purpose, we are begging you to not cut your hair again. Wait, what are you guys talking about? It looks good when I cut my hair. What the fuck? Y'all are crazy. My shit was out of control when I let it ride. Your hair is like the Syrian government retreating for dear life and gone in 10 days. What? Bashar is cooked. I will finally be able to see what's left of my family and Homs again soon. For the first time in 10 years, I'm cautiously optimistic about what's happening considering the conduct of the rebel forces so far. Free Syria. Yeah, it's so cooked. I feel terrible for the Syrian chatters in this community and just in Syrians in general. Because on the one hand, you got like brutal dickhead Assad, and I'm not like a Assadist by any means, memes aside, right? And then on the other hand, the liberators are a collection of Turkish-backed Salafists and also former ISIS and former Al-Qaeda people who are now, you know, acting like that was a different, when they were beheading Christians, you know, back in like 2012, that was a totally different me. Okay. When I'm fucked up, that's the real me. You know, it's just like, that was totally different. We're woke now. And it's kind of funny because like they are literally understandably considered the peak of like global jihad. Like when Americans talk about like regular ass Muslims and say Islamophobic shit, they're literally pointing to guys like that. Yeah, ISIS got woke. ISIS is woke now. So it's just a crazy situation. I mean, we'll see. Jihad means struggle, right? Yes. But those guys, when they say global jihad, they literally, like, that is the one instance where they do mean like genuinely going to the Western world and like activating sleeper cells and like, you know, killing people. That's what I'm trying to explain. When like for the average Muslim, the jihad could mean struggle. It could mean like working out. It could mean like self-improvement. For those guys, that's the one instance where it's like legitimately the thing that Westerners think jihad is. ISIS has been pushed left, but Kamala Harris isn't. Are you going to play Elden Ring or the Chinese Gooner game soon? Dude, I'm not playing any video games today, okay? Shut the fuck up. Please stop asking me about playing fucking video games. Oh my God, dude. Like, obviously, I don't have any time to fucking play video games today. I don't know when I'll be able to get back to that. All right? Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. You guys have, like, it's crazy. I'll be in fucking London, okay? I'm like, hey, I only have like 3 hours to be able to stream. And there'll be chatters in there being like, can you play some Elden Ring? No, I can't play some Elden Ring on my fucking laptop when I'm in the middle of like political commentary that I'm trying to get out as quickly as I possibly can. It's already like fucking 1 p.m. Okay, or 1 a.m. in London. Oh my God. Let's hear this speech. It's just pieces of it.
Play this clip of Hasan because it's a little inspirational one.
Sure.
We should make it a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie. I look back at my speech and I cringe. I'm fucking so terrible at giving public speeches. I need to get better at it. I need to work and get better at giving public speeches.
Hasan went to Cambridge, not the one in Massachusetts, but the one over on the other side of the pond, as it were. And he quoted Michael Brooks, too.
I love that he did the professor look, too. I mean, he knew what to wear for this kind of event. Like, he's nearing a tweed jacket there. It's not quite tweed, but...
The master of public speaking is the gay redhead interlocutor who owned you in the marketplace of ideas with facts and logic. Yeah. Your speech was good. You just ended weirdly.
Very professorial, Hasan.
I like it. Is amazing that they have sport coats like that you can actually get around. The guy's massive.
Yeah, he's tall.
His arms.
Glaze.
I can't believe it's loose around the arms. Go
Why don't you calm down over there?
And I stand before you following the footsteps of intellectual giants as nothing but a simple man who understands right from wrong. And sometimes that's all that matters. In the words of my friend, the late great Michael Jamal Brooks, there's nothing complicated about apartheid. The morality of it is clear. If the roles were reversed and a captive Jewish population of 5 million people were being systematically starved, sieged, and dominated, everyone would understand what's going on. Its ancestral lands being destroyed, everyone would understand what's going on. So in his words, it's not a complex issue. It's super simple. It's the most powerful country in the Middle East. It's backed by the United States, the most powerful country on the planet, and it acts on another population of people with total impunity and is never held accountable for anything. Well, I guess some things are changing in that regard, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But there is no symmetry in this relationship, period. That's what Michael Jamal Brooks said. So I see no need for obfuscation, no arguments for complexity, no reasoning.
What is happening with the camera, Marge? Goddamn.
For preemptive genocide. Israel is an apartheid state, and its inception was a violent one with the forced displacement of 700,000.
Did you really write this speech a day before, like you were saying? If so, that's amazing. Dog, I didn't write the speech a day before. I wrote it on the car ride up. And my Oxford speech, I also wrote on the car ride up as well.
Gave birth to a settler colonial entity that continues to dominate the lives of more than 5 million Palestinians under its illegal occupation, totaling 15 million Palestinians around the globe that are permanently displaced. Its demographic concerns is
good for him citing Brooks, many people have watched that clip of Michael Brooks saying that. And Hasan went on to, with a message of hope, as it were. It is completely understandable that people are feeling a little bit exhausted already and demoralized. But there's plenty of examples in just the U.S. history alone of times that were even more despairing than we should now. And in many ways, we have more mechanisms for people to influence outcomes of things like happen with our government. And so here's Hasan wrapping up in Cambridge.
So I stand before you as a man who simply wants some semblance of justice for the Palestinians. I urge you not to lean into nihilism and succumb to helplessness, because you do not need the academic pedigree to know right from wrong. All you need is your moral compass. As someone who has seen the Palestine question evolve over my past 10 years of public advocacy, I never would have imagined international organs demand legal restitution from America's most valuable asset. After all, there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. Thank you.
Good for him.
That's great. Hasan is getting more coverage, more attention. Him being on PodSave, him going on with CNN and pissing off Bakari sellers.
Yeah, people are telling me that like there's like older people now, you know what I mean? There's older people watching. I gotta change my rhetoric a little bit. There's like unks and aunties and grandmas and grandpas watching now. Your coverage of Syria has been awful and very disappointing. Wait, what? I can't win with these people because I feel like if I were to take the Turkish government's line, they'd be like, Hasan is a Turkish agent. He's defending the Turkish government's interventions. You're making the rebels seem like good guys? No. What? Yeah, I think once again, as always, when I talk about these things, considering that like virtually every single angle here is just bad, and the people of people in Syria are the ones who are victim to it no matter what. There is no world where I can get anybody, no one is going to be happy. There's people who are just straight up like, oh yeah, I'm an Assadist, and I think you're not giving adequate respect to the Ba'athist legend, okay, the Lion of Damascus. And then there are other people who are like, no, you don't understand. These are actually reformed Al-Qaeda agents. And the Free Syrian Army is actually super sick, and Turkey's interest in stabilizing Syria and is actually liberatory in nature. Everybody knows the real terrorists are the student protesters on college campuses. Okay, that's my only position, is that if you're a student protester on a college campus, you're the real terrorist. And also Hamas. Those are the only ones. Those are the only bad guys in every story, okay? Understand. So you only defend Muslims? What? Why don't you talk about non-Muslims being massacred by Muslims? Do you feel bad about Palestinian Muslims? And what about non-Muslims who suffer because of Muslims? Dude, we got some real weirdos in the chat, dude. We got some real crazy heads in here today. What about non-Muslims being harmed by Muslims? What are you talking about, dude? Are you okay? Who do you think is going to suffer the most in if the former Al-Qaeda heads are ruling the country of Syria? It's going to be non-Muslims. It's going to be like non-Sunni Muslims. I mean, Syria is a very diverse country at the end of the day. There's like Christians, there's Kurds, there's like there are all these different groups. There's Shias. There's all these different groups that, you know, might not have such a great time under the rulership of Al-Qaeda. Oh, this clip was wild. They stream sniped her on the highway. What is this? W. Hasan?
Going on Hasan streams, I always get in so much trouble, right? But like, it doesn't really bother me too much. I actually find it quite interesting that like he has so much motion and so much pull.
W motion.
Like, to me, it's like, if I really didn't like someone, I wouldn't be posting about them all the time. Mm-hmm. Or following what they're doing, or like being obsessed with them. You know, it's weird. You know, people really just be like all up in his business.
Chat is just like, they're silly. Are they yapping?
No, it's just like yeah.
They're just yapping.
And I'm telling you, like,
Fuck Hasan.
Because like, if you look at like the internet, like a lot of the internet paints Hasan's like this bad.
Chat is just like,
Chat is so
silly.
funny because it's like so much motion, but so many bad takes. It's like half of the chat is like W Hasan, and then the other chat is like he's a LOLCOW. One, when you know what that word is, automatically it's like if you get that triggered by the mere mention when you're watching a totally random streamer, okay, a totally different streamer, and they bring me up, and you get so triggered where you're like, ugh, I hate him. I hate him so much. It's like, please, man, please get a life.
Are they yapping?
No, it's just like yeah.
They're just yapping.
And I'm telling you, like, because like if you look at like the internet, like a lot of the internet paints Hasan's like this bad guy, and I don't see him that way, right? And then I hang out with him in public, and like people genuinely love him.
Mm-hmm. He's cool.
Like, love him.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Like, my haters are very active. And the more we spend time online, the more like these weirdos get motion. You see what it's like when you when a hater is out and about in the real world, when they're like behaving in the way that they would online, but in the real world, and you're like, oh, ew. My real world experiences are very different. I got off the plane. Here, I'll give you an example. I get off the plane. I am about to leave. I'm about to exit customs, and someone comes up and they're like, "Oh my God, I would love to take a photo with you." It was a Mexican chatter, and she was super stoked to see me. Then I go to the coffee shop at LAX. The dude literally looks up at me. He's like, "Oh my God, I literally have you in my ear right now." He was like listening to my Cambridge speech in his ear while he was just like putting stuff down at the coffee shop. Hasan heads are everywhere. They're not weirdos. They're just like real people. So my interactions in the real world are very different than the way that people present me online and the way that people reflect on who I am online, especially on Twitch or on Reddit or on Twitter. These are like platforms that are easy to brigade. Many platforms online, as long as you are dedicated, are pretty easy to brigade. So it's not something that you need to pay close attention to, in my opinion. Yeah, the only time I've ever had like haters in the wild are pre-scheduled events where they like openly talk about infiltrating it. It's usually just like fans. And even the haters overall, like, they're pretty normal. They're even like, I mean, the haters overall in their reaction to me in person are not as like, sometimes they'll be sweaty. They'll be sweaty when they're like in the moment, in the pocket, when they want to be like, yeah, I'm going to get them. Have you met anyone IRL who has a good faith critique and not a hater? Yes. The only two people that had good faith critiques, both were around sex work. Both were women. And both IRL were not a hater, but had good faith critiques. And both of them had not disagreements necessarily, but like didn't fully understand what my opinion was around sex work. That's probably like the biggest point of contention usually is sex work related.